Summary according to exclusive doctrine. Christ's actions were a cleansing of Israel, not a universal gospel moment. The thieves he rebuked were Israelites of Judah, especially the black Pharisees and priests, who turned the temple into a den of scams. Why did they hate him? Because he threatened their money schemes. He exposed false doctrines. He bypassed their authority, reaching the lost sheep directly. He fulfilled prophecy they refused to acknowledge, because it meant the end of their rule. This is why many today still resist the message of the kingdom, because truth exposes the lies that profit men. Christ came not to include all nations, but to restore Israel, both the scattered northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, in apostasy, stung by reproaches. Psalm 69, verse 9. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me. David, speaking prophetically, reveals that the servant of Yahweh would be consumed with zeal for the Most High's house, and would also bear the reproaches, the scorn, and insults that were really aimed at Yahweh himself. This shows that whoever this servant is, he would be so aligned with Yahweh that the hatred people have for the Most High would fall directly on him. This is not just poetic suffering. It is a prophetic foreshadowing of Yeshua, who would later embody this same zeal and bear these same reproaches during his earthly ministry. This affirms that he came not to be praised by the masses, but to suffer as a representative of Yahweh for the sake of Israel's redemption. John 2:17. And his disciples remembered that it was written, The zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. When Yeshua cast the money changers out of the temple, his righteous indignation revealed his deep zeal for the purity of Yahweh's house. His disciples immediately connected his actions to Psalm 69, verse 9, proving that Yeshua was walking in fulfillment of this prophecy. This wasn't random anger. It was prophetic action. The temple, defiled by greed and corruption, had become a symbol of Israel's spiritual decay. Yeshua's cleansing of it, and the backlash he faced, was part of the reproach. He was hated not for doing wrong, but for standing with the righteousness of Yahweh, and thus received the hatred meant for the Creator. Romans 15:3. For even Messiah pleased not himself, but as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproached thee fell on me. Paul quotes Psalm 69 again, confirming that Yeshua bore the reproaches, the shame, mockery, and rejection that were ultimately aimed at Yahweh. He did not come for personal comfort or popularity. He came to carry the burden of a rebellious nation, taking upon himself the disgrace that Israel's sinfulness had brought against their Elohim. This passage also highlights Yeshua's humility, that he accepted the scorn of men because his mission was to redeem the covenant people, even at great personal cost. Conclusion. The prophecy of being stung by reproaches is fulfilled in Yeshua's life, ministry, and sacrifice. He did not come to be embraced by the world or even by his own people. He came to do the will of Yahweh, and in doing so, became the target of hatred, mockery, and insult, not because he sinned, but because he stood for truth and righteousness. The zeal that consumed him and the reproaches that fell upon him were foretold in Psalm 69 and fulfilled in every confrontation he had with the religious elite, the Roman authorities, and even his own disciples. This suffering was not universal. It was Israelite-centered, rooted in the covenant and the prophetic burden of redeeming the lost sheep. Yeshua endured these reproaches so that Israel might be restored, corrected, and returned to the Most High, the one we collectively reproached through our sins. Stung by reproaches, explained for a child. What does stung by reproaches mean? It means that someone was hurt by words, not physically, but emotionally, by people saying mean, hateful, or disrespectful things. In the Bible, it says that people were disrespectful to the Most High, and those same bad attitudes were also poured onto Yeshua because he loved and obeyed Yahweh so much. Biblical example, Yeshua cleansing the temple, John 2:13 through 17. Imagine this. Yeshua walks into the temple, the special place made for praying and worshiping Yahweh, and he sees people buying and selling things like a marketplace, cheating others for money, and disrespecting the holy place. He gets very upset, not because he hates people, but because he loves Yahweh and wants the temple to be clean and pure, not full of sin. So he turns over the tables and makes everyone leave.